This is Cheyenne Valentine, back today again with a new episode. Today's episode, I want to talk about a serious issue, and it's about Kendrick Johnson. And he was found dead January 11, 2013 in his school gymnasium. And I think you all already know about this incident. This murder is still not solved, and it's an alleged murder, and we're going to get into that. But this is something I had to do and had to talk about, and I'm not going to make this video just all about I don't want this video to come off about me just relaying information. It's something that I want you all to do at the end. If your heart feels moved to do that, I want you to know that I'm not related to the Johnsons. I have never met them. I never met him before he passed. I don't know any of their family members, and just this and the Kanika Jenkins. I'm sorry if that's her last name. It's weird though, both of them, their initials is KJ. It's kind of odd, right? Both were found murdered, even though people are saying it wasn't a murder in either case. Just think about that, two young black people. But anywho, I don't want to make this video too long, but if you don't know about what happened with him and the issues, I want to talk about this now and just give some backstory. And I'm going to say the word alleged a lot in this video because I don't want to be accused of saying someone did this or someone did that. It's going to be a lot of alleged based upon my research. So let's get into it. So if you don't know, Kendrick Johnson was a young high school student, and he was found dead in his gymnasium January 11, 2013. Now, he was found upside down in a gym mat. So I don't know if you all remember in high school, the wrestling team would basically, they would have those mats they would wrestle back and forth on. And what some of the students at the school would do, because some of them did not have lockers, they didn't want to pay for lockers, some of them, they would put their shoes in the mats. But when I say in the mats, I don't mean basically if the mat is on its side, it was standing straight up. So standing straight up, I think the mat was almost 6 feet. I'm not quite sure. I think it was about 6 feet, and it was wrapped tight, and people's shoes were thrown at the bottom, if that makes sense. So they're saying that he, I guess, tilt the mat over slightly and then jumped in head first and then reached down to get his shoe. Yeah. And then allegedly couldn't get out, couldn't wiggle his way out, and basically suffocated. And so when he was found dead and they did an autopsy, it said that it was a accident, that he died accidentally and from asphyxiation. And that means, if I'm looking at this right, he suffocated. Okay, let's get into it. So when the crime scene, number one, there was blood alleged on the walls. They actually took pictures of blood on the walls. I think someone also said allegedly was blood on the sink in the male's bathroom, but don't quote me on that. But at the scene, there was actually allegedly, and I'm gonna keep saying allegedly, but there are pictures of this, but I'm just gonna keep saying allegedly, blood at the scene. Okay, if he suffocated, why would blood be on the walls? The blood, why would they be splattered on the wall? Unless that wouldn't make any sense. Okay, he had wounds on his body, and his shoes were not, they were found in a weird spot to where it wouldn't make any sense. So if he's reaching for his shoe, I think his shoe wasn't even, was thrown somewhere else. So basically what I'm trying to say is that none of it added up. So the parents, everybody was thinking, okay, this doesn't seem like this was an accident. Okay, let's talk about his face. I'm not going to show his face in this video because out of respect for his parents and out of respect for him. But if you was to look up a picture of him, how he looked before he died, he was a very handsome young man, how his facial structure was, and then afterwards, he looked like someone repeatedly hit him in his face. He looked like someone repeatedly just bashed his face in. Okay? And so, let's get into it. Let's talk about what allegedly happened and what went on. So, what makes me and a lot of people think this is a murder? Like I just said, he had allegedly had wounds on him. There was actually pictures of blood on the walls. Let's see. His shoes were found in a weird spot. Also, his shoulders were allegedly too wide to fit in to the mat. So if he tilted the mat over to reach down to grab his shoe, the width of the hole that he allegedly jumped in was too small for him to fit in because his shoulders was too wide. That's something else that came out. Also, let's talk about the surveillance. Okay, there was time missing. So whenever there's time missing, you already know, excuse my language, some bullshit went down. It was time missing, everybody. So what was going on? Where's the footage where the time was missing? Why was that footage deleted? Someone actually did a video on YouTube showing the timestamps and where in the time that was missing. So the school, so the school provided, I think, the sheriff, which is Lowndes County sheriff, because let me say too that he was found in the gymnasium of his high school, which is Lowndes High School in Georgia, Valdesto, Georgia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Valdesto correctly, but Valdosta, Valdesto, Georgia, if that's how you spell Valdesto. And he was found in gymnasium, rolled up in the mats at Lowndes High School. And so Lowndes County sheriff, allegedly the footage from Lowndes High School was given to the sheriff, and then that was handed over to the media or however it went. So something's fishy going on. Okay, so of course I did research and whatnot. So the reason why a lot of people think this was a murder, because like I said, the blood, the wounds, where the shoe was found, there's time missing from surveillance camera. His shoulders was too wide to fit into the hole of the mat, and that would also just be retarded for him to jump in a mat that was taller than him, face first down, to reach his shoes when he could just knock the mat over and just get his shoes from underneath. Okay, so there's been accusations of people saying who did it, and so let's get to it. So allegedly there's these two brothers, two young white guys that went to school there, named Brian and Brandon Bell, and allegedly their parents said that he had problems with them. Now these two young men also did an interview, news station went and interviewed them. If you want to look it up on YouTube, you can see it. They both look guilty as hell, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, allegedly one of the brothers had a girlfriend. I actually looked this girlfriend up on Facebook. I'm not going to say her name. I just want to say she is very pretty, so I can see why there was fights over her or some disagreements over her, because she's very attractive. So allegedly what this all stemmed from was the fact that Kendrick either had sex or had involvement with this young lady. She happens to be white too, and she had a boyfriend, which was one of the Bell brothers, and allegedly he found out, it got out, and he basically wanted Kendrick gone. On top of Kendrick was, I think, on the basketball team, and I'm not sure if he was on a wrestling or a football team, but I think he was on a basketball team. And one of the Bell brothers, I think both of them were wrestlers and football, basketball. Don't quote me on it. They were athletic. They were into different sports at the school just like him. So he's kind of like competition for them as well too. And so what is being said and that was being alleged is that one of the Bell brothers could have possibly been on steroids, got upset, and someone lured him into the gym room allegedly, and there was altercation between him and one of the Bell brothers, and allegedly one of the Bell brothers picked up a heavy ass weight and bashed him in the face with it and repeatedly kicked him in the face. And then allegedly it was not just him that did it, it was both of the brothers. So basically he was stomped to death allegedly by multiple people. So both of the Bell brothers. And now let's get into another thing. People are alleging that it was also an older adult there, so that it wasn't just the brothers there. They're alleging that staff members in the office, some of them knew what was going to happen that day. That's why I think about it. Who erased the time? Where's the missing footage at? So someone in the office, the front office, erased some footage. Okay, so what is being alleged is that there's people, staff members in the front office that knew this was going to happen, and that also the Bell brothers' father, which I think this is a fact, is a retired, or was, I don't know if he's dead now, but was a retired FBI agent, and allegedly their mother, if she's still alive, was or is an attorney. So what is being alleged is that this was a cover-up, this was all planned, and that the brothers lured him into that gym room. One of them hit him in the face with a dumbbell impulsively, maybe out of anger, whatnot. They stumped him to death, allegedly, and that an older male that is very wealthy and has a lot of pull and influence and authority was in on it and helped cover it all up. Now, this is not alleged what I'm about to say, but apparently his organs were missing. When his family was able to, I think when they took it to the coroner's office or however this go, Kendrick's organs were missing. And allegedly his fingernails were cut down very low. Now, what is being alleged is that his organs were sold on the black market for money, and that also the point of cutting down his nails and the point of removing his organs was also, like I said, the organs to get money, and also doubled as covering up the evidence of a murder. Okay, are you all following me? So now let's get to currently what is going on. So I guess we can do kind of an update. So the family actually got the body exhumed. I think this is the third time they did an autopsy. They so basically exhumed the body, and the results came back that he was murdered from blunt force trauma. Okay. And now, before they got the body exhumed, and this is what I wanted you all's help with, the family was sued, from my understanding, don't quote me on this, for $400,000 from the Bell brothers, because basically they said their reputation has been tarnished, and one of the brothers, from my understanding, allegedly one of his scholarships was taken from him because I guess he was gonna go to college and play football or basketball or something. And they sued the family because I think the family first sued them and for wrongful death. And then when the autopsy came back, it came back that allegedly Kendrick's death, it showed that there was an accident based upon what the coroner's office evidence came back that it was an accident. So then, from my understanding, the Bell brothers sued and said, well, you all said that I killed your son, we're suing you for $400,000. So the family actually has a GoFundMe up. I think they have raised about $14,000. I'm not quite sure, don't quote me on that, but they have a GoFundMe out where they're looking for $400,000. And if you all want to contact them, I think it's a contact part on the GoFundMe where you can contact them if you have any questions as far as what is this money towards. But from my understanding, it's towards legal fees. So not only have this family lost their son in a tragic way and can't get answers, they have to come up with $400,000. And so that's where I wanted you all's help, and I am throwing myself in there too. I would love for you all to donate to the fund, even if it's $1, even if it's $5. If your heart feels moved to do it, please do it. It's not obviously a requirement. I'm glad that you clicked on this video and just listen to what I had to say. But if you could donate to the GoFundMe, that would be incredible. They don't have much help. And like I said, I don't know them, I haven't talked to them. The information I just said to you is what I know of. And a lot of this is facts. He was found dead. His face did look like that. There was blood, but yet it came back it was an accident. They have been sued. The footage did have missing time. His organs was missing. His fingernails were cut. I mean, some of this stuff is pretty much facts. Now, I want to jump back and talk about the Bell brothers. So there is also footage of one of the brothers, and I'm going to say this, and excuse my language, fucking with him. And what I mean is footage of him, I think in a cafeteria. He's walking, minding his business. One of the brothers walked past him and pushed him. He pulls up his pants. Kendrick, now let me say this again. Kendrick, is walking in the cafeteria, getting in line, and one of the Bell brothers, I don't know if it's Brian or Brandon, walks past him and pushes him. And Kendrick gets into line, and then the Bell brother walks past him, pushes him, and gets into, I think, the back of the line. And Kendrick did not attack him. He just turned his head around and pulled up his pants as if he was ready to defend himself. So that shows this dude is fucking with him. Also, allegedly, Kendrick got into a fight with one of the brothers on a bus. I think that's the same brother that girlfriend allegedly liked or slept with Kendrick. Okay. Now, also the parents, allegedly, the parents complained to the school constantly about the treatment of Kendrick regarding the Bell brothers. That basically they were messing with him. I think one brother in particular, the one that was dating a girl that allegedly liked Kendrick, that him or the brother, both of them were fucking with Kendrick, bothering him, bullying him, and what do I think happened? I think he stood up to them, and allegedly this all is over a girl, but I think it's over a girl. And I think too, one of the Bear brothers, or both of them, was really popular at that school and was going to get a scholarship, and they kind of like the big man on campus, had a lot of pull. It's also allegedly very racist down there. So let's just talk about the Lowndes County Sheriff. So allegedly the sheriff is an asshole, inhumane, possibly corrupt, and from my understanding, people are saying that allegedly everyone in that town was in cahoots together. The staff, some of the staff in the office, the Bell brothers, maybe someone that their retired FBI agent father knew, helped them possibly, on top of the sheriff, on top of the coroner's office, because basically people are alleging that everybody's getting paid off. They're alleging that the Bell brothers is dead, and some other really powerful man is paying people off to stay quiet and to not expose what happened. Like I said, where's the missing footage? If you go online and you look up Lowndes County Sheriff, you'll see reviews. They have terrible reviews. I think they're being sued. Someone on there has also mentioned the issue with Kendrick Johnson, because the sheriff office, I guess, investigated his death, and their findings was it was an accident, when clearly it wasn't a fucking accident. And like I said, his body just got exhumed, and the update is that the autopsy came back and said he was murdered. Okay, so his family needs your help. I know his mom and dad has went through many sleepless nights, and I'm just glad they're hanging in there. And it sounds to me like this could possibly have been a huge cover-up, where the Bell brothers, particularly one brother, had a problem with Kendrick because of a girl, because his girlfriend possibly liked him and slept with him. He brought his brother on board. His father, their father has connections because he's a retired FBI agent. They probably, one of the father's friends, probably, who's a man who's very wealthy, very well known, has many connections, found out about one of the Bell brothers' issue with Kendrick. Allegedly one of the Bell brothers and Kendrick got into a fight on the bus. Obviously, they fighting over a girl. They're both into sports, want to be the big man on campus. When I say campus, just at the school. And I think this all was premeditated. They got the staff members on board. They lured Kendrick allegedly into the gymnasium. This is what I think. The dude confronted him. They jumped him, and one of them bashed him possibly in the head with one of the dumbbells, and then they proceeded with a cover-up, locked the gym doors, proceeded with a cover-up. I think they bashed him in the head with a dumbbell and stumped him out. When he fell, they started stumping him in the face and killed him. Okay, I do not think the Bell brothers, if they did this, did it alone. They had someone with connections that helped them cover it up. Allegedly his organs was missing. I think they took the organs, they sold it. Like I said, they sold it for money and also to cover up the evidence of a murder. That's why they allegedly cut down the nails. They tried to clean up everything. I think some students did see it too, and they paid the students off, or they threatened them. I think they paid off the sheriff. They paid off the coroners. I think they paid off a lot of people in that town. That's a small town. It's known for being very fucking racist as well. Like I said, go online, look at Lowndes County Sheriff reviews, and see what people are saying about this sheriff in that county. And that's all I want to say about this. I didn't want this video to be too long. I appreciate you all clicking on it. Like I said, I have no affiliations with his family. I send them positive energy. I send them strength. I send them love. And I hope that you all do donate and go to the GoFundMe, even if it's $1. They really need your help. And I can feel in my heart, they're not going to stop getting justice for their son, even if it takes them to their last breath. They're going to keep fighting for him. That's what he deserves. Now, my personal opinion, like I just said, I feel he was murdered. I just gave you a scenario of what I think happened. Do I know for a fact? No. But the autopsy just came back again saying that he's been found that it was murder. Okay, and so now who murdered him? Okay, he's been having the same problems with the same people over an extended amount of time, and all of a sudden footage is, and I mean, for me, the fact that blood was found and that the footage, there's an hour or two of footage missing, right there would tell me it was a murder, because where is the fucking footage at? If they can present the original footage, this will solve any issues. And I want to say too, before I get out of here, one of the footage they showed was him going into the gym, and then like the next, it looks spliced. So they eliminated some footage. So it's missing footage, and they spliced the footage that they released to the media. He's walking in a hallway. He's going to the gymnasium. He's running to play, and then it just cuts off to some other kids playing, and then the one footage that shows the mats that they said he fell in, basically it's blurry, so you can't even see him getting in there. So they completely spliced them. Oh my god, they completely spliced and made blurry. So because so if he jumped into the mat and suffocated trying to get his shoes, there is a camera that you can clearly see the mats, and they made it blurry to where you can't even really distinguish what's going on in that area. So like I said, my opinion is that what I just said earlier, they murdered him and did all that stuff, and then they rolled his body up into the mat after they were done murdering him and taking out his organs and doing whatever they wanted to do with him. That's what I think happened, and it's starting to show that's possibly what happened, because it's saying he was murdered. Now evidence came out he's murdered. They have footage missing. Oh, and let me say this too. His grave, someone destroyed his tombstone. Okay, so if he accidentally killed himself, why is someone upset? Obviously someone is trying to get the family to shut up, and obviously someone is upset that they won't leave the case alone, and obviously someone is worried that they might be going to jail, because there's another video on YouTube where allegedly, let me just say allegedly, that they show his tombstone, and it's basically removed. It's been detached, like someone basically vandalized his tombstone. Now who would do that other than a guilty person? So once again, I'm glad you all listened to this video. Please pray for Kendrick Johnson's family, and I hope you donate to the GoFundMe, and you have a great day.